The Business Made Easy in Nigeria. This is a profile page on Twitter. They are an awareness campaign that's meant to communicate PEBEC's reforms towards a business-friendly Nigeria. PEBEC, of course, being the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council. So let's take a look at the tweets that they put out there. First of all, it said on November 12th, which is just yesterday, Jumoke Oduwole, Special Advisor to President Buhari on Ease of Doing Business and Secretary of Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, spoke with the Managing Director, who we just saw a moment ago, and assured her of quick and thorough investigation of the issue. Second tweet. The project manager, Mr. Ayo Ojeni, visited the Gwarimpa branch of their Land and Kitchen is the name of the business, where he met the managing director, senior officials of the Public Health Department of Health and Human Services of the FCTA. Let's move on to the next tweet. Now, this is key here. The PEBEC team noted to the officials that it was wrong to have locked up the staff and customers of the restaurant while carrying out the orders to seal the restaurant. So they acknowledged that wrongdoing immediately, and then the officials explained that the restaurant was sealed following the failure to comply with a court summons served to the management of the restaurant. Then, the third tweet, the management was allegedly charged to court because all the relevant regulatory processes relating to food handling, because this is a restaurant, in the FCT for the year 2020 had not been completed. And then they say at the bottom there, this is very key because she did accuse Amak of a shakedown, but they say there, officials also clarified that the fine for non-compliance with the court summons was 250,000 and it was not a bribe, as earlier believed by the complaints. Take a look at the final tweets there. This is also very important. PEBEC Secretariat also noted that the management of the business of the restaurant would have been better guided if the official FCTA and AMAC had published the fees and procedures for obtaining the relevant regulatory approvals on their websites. And then at the end there, Jumoke Oduwole has assured the management of the restaurant that PEBEC Secretariat will work with FCTA, official FCTA, that's the Twitter handle for the Federal Capital Territory, and AMAC towards providing clarity and more transparency in its regulatory processes and enforcement in order to forestall an occurrence like this. So, that's the response from government. But there's more to it because we have to discuss about social media getting the attention of government, businesses, customer service. To have that conversation, we have Odion Aleoboa, who's the CEO of Modion Communications, joining me live in the studio. Good morning to you, Odion. Thank you for joining us. So, look, you handle public relations for a number of firms. What do you make of the response of PEBEC to this entrepreneur in Abuja?
Thank you, Rotus, for inviting me. PEBEC was quite timely. They are prompt with their response. When you have this kind of issue, what you want to see is timely response. So that was apt. We saw clearly that they dealt with almost all the issues that arose from the ladies' video. That was also very good. So and there's a bit of commitment to see to the end what exactly went wrong. That's also very good. But beyond that, I thought at one point I couldn't see where the allegiance lies for BEM. Is it to the government or to the business? Because when you say you're going to create an environment that businesses can operate and thrive in, then the allegiance is to SME. The allegiance is to the ordinary Nigerian, not to the government, even though if you are an agent of government. So I didn't see enough. Strong words to describe certain factors that we saw in that report. For example, locking up customers to enforce whatever injunction you had was medieval, to just, for lack of a better word. Asking for cash for payment of fine didn't seem to align with the government's stance, especially when they have remitter and all the cashless transfer of payment to government. I didn't see a strong stance in condemning those kind of posturing. So for me, that was enough, but good enough.
All right. Thank you for that. Now, did social media have an outsized role to play here. Is it accurate to say that because that video went viral and was covered widely, was that what pushed the government to act so quickly?
Definitely. If that woman did that video and sent it to only BEM, perhaps we won't see a very strong response. So the social media actually allows for millions of people to see the level of failure. And so for organizations who want to protect their reputation, you want to see that, you will likely see that kind of very prompt response. Yes, social media had a lot of impact on how BEM actually responded to that woman.
All right, great. Now, Odion, so I want to take this conversation further. There's another video that surfaced. That's a completely unrelated matter to government. Yeah, there she is. This lady is complaining about bank fees, right? Now, a popular social media influencer who has over 1 million followers posted this video of her on his Instagram page. It's brought a lot of attention. Is this the new normal for getting the attention of corporates to attend to customer service matters? Again, for our viewers, this has nothing to do with PEBEC, nothing to do with what happened in Abuja. This is a completely separate issue. Another video that just popped up, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Odion, is this where we are now?
Yes, this is a new normal. This is a new world. And I will do it if I'm angry enough. My voice is not strong and loud enough. I'll get an influencer to actually lend me a voice. The louder your voice, the quicker the response. So what we see here is that people are beginning to understand that power to use the social media and use social media influencer to prompt immediate response is in their hands, and people are using it.
So is there a danger here of social media being, I don't know if the right word is weaponized at the expense of the image of corporations in Nigeria?
Well, definitely. Every human endeavor, every human inclination can be weaponized. Poverty is weaponized. Religion is weaponized. So there is the possibility that you can actually deliberately amplify an agenda setting messaging or reaction, but that doesn't fault the fact that it is quite effective. So we need to actually look at that, because we also see the amplification of fake news and deliberately spreading hatred. That is where you have to be extremely careful and conscious when you see, when as an influencer, that responsibility, you have to then understand that there are a whole lot of things you cannot amplify.
Now, okay, so thank you for stating that. So how are you, in your role in public relations, how are you advising brands to deal with customers going viral with complaints about the service they've received, and just waking up one morning and seeing a viral video where your brand is being displayed and saying you haven't performed in one way or another?
So what we do at our agency is to actually lay 5 levels of checks. Reputation management has to be proactive. So we have 5 levels where we use technology, where we have a research team, and we have a partnership with another tracking agency that uses both technology and human team. And then we then have an account officer on that account. So there's 5 levels of proactive listening to social media to ensure that once a conversation that has an issue laden innuendo starts, we immediately start tracking and then picking it up, and then within 5 minutes start advising the client. Not just saying, oh, someone has said something that is negative, but look, these are the steps to take. The first step to take is make sure that it doesn't get amplified. So take the conversation off this social media as quickly as possible. First step is go from open post to DM. And then from DM, share numbers, and then take it off completely from social media. And then have a conversation that conveys empathy, professionalism, probity, accountability, and true concern, sincerity. that you are likely to get the complainer go back to social media and say, oh, they've attended to me. So those are our own steps to addressing reputation damaging issues on social media.
Fantastic stuff. Odion Alioba, CEO of Modion Communications, thank you so much for joining us to talk about social media and this technology in the age of customer service. Appreciate your insights.